Welcome to my channel, Old Valuable Coins. Stop scrolling right now. This tiny 1-cent coin from the United States could change your life. The most valuable 1-cent coin ever made is a 1943 Lincoln wheat penny struck in copper. During World War II, pennies were supposed to be made from steel, but a small number were accidentally made using copper blanks. That mistake turned this ordinary-looking penny into one of the rarest coins in American history. Today, a genuine 1943 copper penny can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, and in perfect condition, even more. Look closely at the date, test it with a magnet, and check the color. That old penny in your pocket might be hiding a fortune. Today we're talking about one of the most iconic and misunderstood coins in American history, the legendary Drummer Boy coin, officially known as a United States bicentennial quarter dated 1776 to 1976. This coin is found in millions of homes, drawers, and collections, yet many people have no idea why it exists, what makes it special, or why certain versions are worth far more than face value. If you've ever seen a quarter with a colonial drum on the back instead of the traditional eagle, you already know this coin stands out. But the real story behind it is far more fascinating than most people realize. The Drummer Boy coin was created to celebrate a once-in-a-lifetime moment in American history, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. In 1976, the United States wanted something truly special to honor the nation's bicentennial, and for the first time in modern history, circulating U.S. coins were redesigned temporarily. Instead of changing just one coin, the U.S. Mint redesigned the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar, making the bicentennial series instantly recognizable. What makes the Drummer Boy quarter unique is that it carries a dual date, 1776 to 1976, symbolizing the birth of a nation and its 200-year journey. No other U.S. quarter before or after carries two dates like this. Even though millions were produced, the symbolism alone makes it one of the most historically important quarters ever minted. The design on the reverse side features a colonial drummer boy, a powerful symbol of the American Revolutionary War. Drummers were essential on the battlefield, used to relay commands and keep troops moving in formation. The torch surrounded by 13 stars represents the original 13 colonies and the enduring spirit of freedom. This design was created by Jack L. R., and it was chosen through a national design competition, making it even more special. One of the biggest misconceptions is that all Drummer Boy quarters are rare. In reality, most are produced in very large numbers. However, value depends on several critical factors that many people overlook. Mint mark, condition, composition, and special varieties all play a major role in determining how much a 1776 to 1976 quarter is worth today. There are three main mint locations for the Drummer Boy quarter: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark. Denver coins have a D, and San Francisco coins carry an S. While Philadelphia and Denver coins were made for everyday circulation, San Francisco produced special versions specifically for collectors. One of the most important distinctions is the metal composition. Most circulated Drummer Boy quarters are made from copper-nickel clad, just like modern quarters. However, San Francisco also produced special 40% silver versions. These silver quarters were not released into everyday circulation, which makes them far more desirable today. Many people unknowingly assume all bicentennial quarters are the same, but that single detail can mean the difference between face value and a much higher price. Condition is another massive factor. A Drummer Boy quarter that has been heavily circulated, scratched, or worn will usually be worth only its face value. But coins that remain in exceptional condition, with sharp details and strong luster, can command significantly higher prices. Coins that were set aside, stored carefully, or never circulated at all are the one collectors actively search for. Errors and varieties are where things get really interesting. Some bicentennial quarters were struck with noticeable errors, such as double details, off-center strikes, or unusual die characteristics. These errors are not common, and when discovered, they can dramatically increase a coin's value. Many people have unknowingly spent error coins without realizing what they had in their pocket. Another detail people often miss is that even though the coin says 1776 to 1976, these quarters were actually minted over several years leading up to the bicentennial celebration. Production began in 1975 and continued into 1976, but all of them carry the same dual date. This is one of the few times in U.S. history when coins were intentionally backdated to commemorate a historic event. The popularity of the Drummer Boy Quarter has never faded. It remains one of the most searched U.S. coins online, and it continues to attract both new collectors and seasoned enthusiasts. Part of its appeal is nostalgia. Many people remember receiving these quarters as children or hearing stories about the bicentennial celebrations. That emotional connection adds to the coin's lasting demand. Collectors also appreciate how accessible this coin is. Unlike extremely rare early American coins that cost thousands or millions, the Drummer Boy Quarter allows people to own a tangible piece of U.S. history without needing a massive budget. At the same time, higher-end versions still offer serious collectible value, creating interest across all levels of collectors. One reason this coin remains relevant today is that people are still discovering them in everyday places. They show up in old coin jars, inherited collections, bankrolls, and even loose change. Every time someone finds one, the same question comes up: is this quarter worth more than 25 cents? And the answer depends entirely on knowing what to look for. Collectors recommend checking the mint mark first, then examining the coin's overall condition. Next, pay close attention to the details on the drummer, the lettering, and the date. Any doubling, unusual thickness, or alignment issues could indicate a variety or error. Even subtle differences can make a significant impact on desirability. The Drummer Boy Quarter also represents a turning point in modern U.S. coinage. It showed that circulating coins could be both functional money and commemorative art. This idea later influenced other special designs, including state quarters and national park quarters, which transform how Americans view everyday change. As time passes, interest in bicentennial memorabilia continues to grow. Coins from this era are no longer just historical artifacts. They are reminders of a major national celebration that brought the country together. That cultural significance plays a huge role in why collectors continue to seek these quarters decades later. If you already own a Drummer Boy Quarter, you're holding a symbol of American history that millions recognize instantly. While not every example is valuable, the right combination of mint mark, metal content, condition, and rarity can make certain versions highly desirable. Knowledge is what separates a common coin from a hidden treasure. The biggest mistake people make is assuming value without proper inspection or giving away coins without understanding what they have. Taking the time to learn about this coin can turn curiosity into real appreciation for its place in U.S. history. Whether you're a beginner just getting into coin collecting or someone rediscovering old change, the 1776 to 1976 Drummer Boy Quarter is one of the best coins to study. It's rich in symbolism, widely collected, and still full of surprises. If you enjoyed learning about this iconic U.S. coin, make sure to stay tuned for more deep dives into historic American coins, rare finds, and valuable discoveries hiding in plain sight. The next rare coin you're searching for might already be closer than you think, sitting quietly in your pocket, waiting to be noticed. The Delaware State Quarter, released in 1999, is more than just pocket change. It represents history, pride, and the very beginning of one of the most successful coin programs ever launched in the United States. If you have ever found a 1999 Delaware Quarter in your change and wondered if it could be special, valuable, or historically important, this video will answer every question you have, and more. Delaware holds a unique place in American history. It was the first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution on December 7, 1787. That is why Delaware proudly carries the nickname the First State, and that title is permanently honored on the 1999 Delaware State Quarter. This coin was the very first quarter released under the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, making it a landmark issue in modern American coinage. When this quarter entered circulation in 1999, it instantly caught public attention. Millions of Americans who had never collected coins before suddenly started checking their pocket change. The excitement began with Delaware, and that excitement still lives on today. The design of the Delaware State Quarter is simple, powerful, and full of meaning. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see a rider on horseback. This is Caesar Rodney, one of Delaware's most important historical figures. Caesar Rodney is shown riding swiftly, symbolizing his famous overnight ride to Philadelphia in 1776. His mission was urgent, to break a tie in Delaware's vote on independence from Great Britain. Because of that ride, Delaware voted in favor of independence, helping shape the future of the United States. That single moment in history is captured forever on this coin. Beneath Caesar Rodney, you'll notice the words of First State, along with the year Delaware joined the Union, 1787. The design tells a powerful story of sacrifice, urgency, and patriotism, all in a small piece of metal that once passed through millions of hands. On the front of the coin, the obverse features George Washington, a familiar portrait that has appeared on U.S. quarters since 1932. While the Washington design remained consistent, the reverse of the coin is what made the Delaware Quarter revolutionary. It marked the first time U.S. circulating quarters featured changing designs honoring individual states. The 1999 Delaware State Quarter were produced at two major U.S. mint locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia carry a P mint mark, while those from Denver feature a D mint mark. Together, hundreds of millions of these quarters were struck to meet public demand during the program's launch. Because of the massive production numbers, many people assume the 1999 Delaware Quarter has no value beyond face value. But that assumption is not always correct. While most circulated examples are common, certain versions, conditions, and errors can make this coin far more desirable. Condition plays a major role in value. Coins that have never been used in circulation, those that retain their original shine and sharp details, are much more appealing to collectors. The Delaware Quarter was heavily used, so finding one with strong luster, clean surfaces, and minimal marks is becoming increasingly difficult over time. Mint errors are where things get truly exciting. Some 1999 Delaware Quarters were struck with errors that make them stand out dramatically. Off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, and misaligned dies are just a few examples of errors that collectors actively search for. These error coins were never meant to leave the mint, yet they somehow entered circulation, creating rare and valuable varieties. One of the most talked about varieties involves die-related errors that cause doubling in the design or lettering. When visible, this doubling can significantly increase interest in the coin. Collectors pay close attention to the details of Caesar Rodney's figure, the horse, and the lettering to spot these unusual features. Another factor that adds long-term appeal to the Delaware State Quarter is its place in history as the first coin of the State Quarter series. First issues often carry special importance in any collectible series, and this quarter is no exception. It represents the beginning of a program that ran for 10 years and reshaped modern coin collecting in America. The 50 State Quarters program introduced millions of people to the hobby. Families collected quarters from each state. Children learned geography through coins, and interest in U.S. coinage surged to levels not seen in decades. The Delaware Quarter was a spark that ignited it all. From an investment perspective, modern coins like the 1999 Delaware Quarter may not seem impressive today, but history shows that significance and survival matter. Coins that were saved in pristine condition, especially from the first year of a major series, often gain attention as time passes and high-quality examples become scarcer. Collectors also appreciate this coin for its strong storytelling. Caesar Rodney's ride is one of the most dramatic yet lesser-known moments of the American Revolution. The coin invites curiosity, encouraging people to learn more about early American history and the sacrifices made to secure independence. Even today, many people unknowingly spend Delaware quarters that have excellent detail or unique characteristics. That's why checking your chain still matters. A quick glance at the mint mark, surface quality, and strike can reveal whether a coin is ordinary or something worth keeping. The Delaware State Quarter also appeals to state collectors, history enthusiasts, and complete set builders. Anyone assembling a full 50 State Quarters collection needs this coin, and many prefer examples with strong eye appeal. That steady demand helps keep interest alive year after year. Another fascinating aspect of the 1999 Delaware Quarter is how it reflects the era it was produced in. The late 1990s marked a time of economic growth, technological change, and renewed interest in American identity. The State Quarters program captured that moment, and Delaware led the way. As circulation wear continues to take its toll, well-preserved examples become more desirable. Scratches, dull surfaces, and weak strikes are common, so finding a coin that still looks sharp after more than 2 decades is increasingly uncommon. If you're new to coin collecting, the Delaware Quarter is an excellent starting point. It's affordable, historically rich, and widely recognized. For experienced collectors, it offers opportunities to search for errors, high-quality strikes, and meaningful additions to specialized collections. The next time you come across a 1999 Delaware State Quarter, take a closer look. Examine the rider, the horse, the lettering, and the mint mark. Consider where that coin has been and how many hands it has passed through since 1999. What looks like ordinary change might actually be a small piece of American history. Coins like this remind us that value is not always about price alone. Historical importance, cultural impact, and storytelling all contribute to why people collect. The Delaware State Quarter stands as a symbol of beginnings, both for a nation and for a modern coin collecting revolution. As years go by, coins from the first state quarter's release will continue to be studied, saved, and appreciated. Have you ever held a simple 25-cent coin in your hand and wondered if it was hiding a powerful story, a piece of American history, or even unexpected value? Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from the United States 50 State Quarters program, the South Dakota State Quarter, released in 2006. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but once you understand its symbolism, history, minting details, and collector interest, you'll never see it the same way again. The South Dakota Quarter was officially released in 2006 as part of the immensely popular U.S. Mint State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program transformed everyday pocket change into collectible history and introduced millions of Americans to coin collecting. South Dakota was the 40th state honored in the series, and its quarter carries a design that reflects pride, exploration, and deep American roots. On the obverse side, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, a design originally created by John Flanagan. This side remained consistent across all state quarters, symbolizing unity across all 50 states. But the real story begins on the reverse side, where South Dakota's identity comes alive. The reverse design of the 2006 South Dakota State Quarter features Mount Rushmore, one of the most iconic landmarks in the United States. Carved into the Black Hills of South Dakota, Mount Rushmore showcases the faces of four legendary American presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Each president represents a core American ideal: the birth, growth, development, and preservation of the nation. This design choice was no accident. Mount Rushmore is globally recognized and deeply connected to South Dakota's identity. The coin also includes a state nickname, the Mount Rushmore State, along with the year South Dakota joined the Union in 1889. These elements together create a powerful tribute to American history and westward expansion. The artist behind this reverse design captured Mount Rushmore with remarkable detail, especially considering the limited space of a quarter. The depth of the carvings, the texture of the stone, and the balance of the inscriptions all contribute to making this coin visually striking and historically meaningful. Now let's talk about minting. The South Dakota State Quarter was produced at 3 different U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia and Denver were released into general circulation, meaning many people unknowingly spent or saved them as everyday change. The San Francisco versions were produced primarily for collectors and typically feature a sharper, more refined appearance. In total, hundreds of millions of South Dakota quarters were minted, making them relatively common in circulated condition. However, that doesn't mean they are worthless. Condition, strike quality, and special characteristics can dramatically affect desirability among collectors. One of the most exciting aspects of modern coin collecting is error coins, and the South Dakota Quarter is no exception. Some examples have been discovered with striking errors, such as off-center strikes, doubled elements, die cracks, or weak impressions. These imperfections, when genuine, can significantly increase collector interest because no 2 error coins are exactly the same. Another factor that collectors look for is luster and surface preservation. Even a common coin can become desirable if it remains in excellent condition with original mint shine. Many collectors search through rolls or old collections hoping to find a South Dakota Quarter that looks as fresh as the day it was minted. Beyond its physical characteristics, the South Dakota Quarter holds strong emotional and historical appeal. It represents the spirit of the American Midwest, the perseverance of early settlers, and the monumental ambition behind Mount Rushmore itself. The monument took over 14 years to complete and involved hundreds of workers carving massive presidential faces directly into granite cliffs. That legacy is now forever preserved on this coin. From an investment perspective, state quarters like South Dakota may not seem impressive today, but history has shown that coins connected to iconic landmarks and national symbols often gain long-term interest. Collectors who focus on complete state quarter sets consistently seek clean, well-preserved examples, and demand continues to grow as fewer pristine coins remain in circulation. Many people outside the United States are surprised to learn how much history is packed into American coinage. The South Dakota Quarter is a perfect example. It's not just currency, it's a miniature historical document that fits in your pocket. If you're a beginner collector, this coin is an excellent starting point. It's affordable, easy to find, and rich in meaning. For experienced collectors, it offers opportunities to search for premium examples, mint variations, and unique eras. One of the reasons the 2006 South Dakota Quarter remains popular is its universal recognition. Mount Rushmore instantly captures attention, even among people who aren't coin collectors. That visual power adds to the coin's appeal and makes it a favorite topic in educational and historical discussions. Over time, coins like this become more than metal. They become time capsules. Every scratch, every mark, every preserved detail tells a story about where the coin has been and who carried it. Some may have passed through thousands of hands, while others sat quietly in collections, untouched for years. So next time you come across a South Dakota State Quarter dated 2006, don't overlook it. Take a closer look. Examine the details. Feel the weight of history it carries. You might just be holding a piece of America's story, one that connects presidents, pioneers, and modern collectors in a single, powerful symbol. Coins like the South Dakota Quarter remind us why numismatics is more than a hobby. It's a journey through time, culture, and national identity. And sometimes, the most fascinating treasures are hiding in plain sight. If you enjoy discovering the hidden stories behind American coins, make sure to stay connected, because every coin has a story, and some stories are worth far more than their face value.